Good morning. Let's go ahead and get started by sitting on your mat. If you'd like, you can go ahead and grab a pillow or a blanket to sit on top of. I also like to sit on top of a block just to lift my hips up off the ground a tad here. And as you start to settle into your space, you can close your eyes, lengthening your breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale with a sigh. Continue this style of breathing, slowing down your thoughts, focusing on your breath, putting blinders on everything that is outside these four corners of your mat as you dedicate this next 60 minutes to your practice. I'm recording this on Thanksgiving Day, and I thought it was kind of interesting this week. There's so much talk about being thankful. And regardless of the year that we're in, I think that we can all find something to be thankful for. But I found myself asking what's the difference between feeling thankful and feeling grateful. So that's what the theme of today's class is. You have the entire day to be thankful. So I invite you to spend the next 60 minutes thinking about what you're grateful for. And you might be asking, well, I don't know the difference either. So Google provided the answers per usual. Being grateful is about appreciating what one has as opposed to what one wants. Being thankful or thanking someone often implies you are acknowledging your thanks for something that someone has given you. So, with that in mind, just think of the things you're grateful for being those things that are innate, you're born with, or that you have already. With your next inhale, I invite you to bring your hands to your chest, close your eyes, tucking your chin and bowing forward. Bring that thought, word, or mantra into focus. 3 rounds of breath together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, deepest round yet. And exhale. Letting your left hand rest on top of your left thigh. Bring your right hand up. We're going to practice Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. This breath practice helps you align your energy channels, balance the two hemispheres of your brain, and genuinely provide a real sense of calm. How we'll do that, we'll use our right thumb and right ring finger to alternate switching which nostril we're using for our breath. So we'll always start by inhaling through the left, and we'll close the practice by exhaling through the left, so you get a full cycle of breath. Bring the right thumb to the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Cover the left. Exhale through right. Inhale through right. Cover right. Exhale through left. Inhale through left. Cover left. Exhale through right. Inhale right. Cover right. Exhale through left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale 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 left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Last round. Inhale right. Cover your right nostril and gently exhale through left. Yogi's choice, you can let both hands rest in your lap or on top of your knees, palms facing up. If you enjoyed that inner connection, you can bring your hands to rest on your chest. 3 cleansing breaths before we start our asana. Inhale and sigh it out. Exhale. 2 more just like that on your own. Come back to an unprompted breath and just tune in to the feeling or sensation you've created by carving out some short amount of time to focus on the simple breath. As you start to flutter your eyes open, gently move around in your seat a little bit. I forgot to mention that we'll need blocks for this particular practice. So if you have those handy, great. If you need to go ahead and grab them, go ahead and do so. It's the beauty of practicing at home. They should be somewhat nearby. If you don't have blocks, you can use a coffee mug or a water bottle. You can even use a soup can, or in this case, enchilada sauce, which is what I'm having for Thanksgiving, not just the sauce, but full enchiladas. And once you've got ahead, the main reason we'll need it is just to bring your mat closer to you in a couple different poses. So go ahead and grab that. And for those of you who have it, go ahead and get settled back into your space, removing that prop from underneath your hips or the blankets that are underneath your hips. And since we've been in this cross-legged position for a while, go ahead and uncross your feet and then reset, maybe switching out which leg is in front. On a long inhale, reach your hands out to the side and up to the sky. Exhale, plant your right hand down next to your right hip. As you inhale, straighten through the left arm. And exhale, bend the right elbow, Sukhasana side bend. Easy side bend. With this movement, your left hip is naturally going to want to Perk up a little bit, so actively press the left hip down and straighten the left arm, breathing along the left side body. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. Just take a moment to feel the difference in the side bodies. Exhale, left hand plants down next to your left hip. Inhale, reach, no soggy fry with this right arm. Exhale, side bend over to your left side. Bring your full attention to your right hip, grounding it down to your mat if it's perked up a bit. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. Exhale, seated twist to your right side. Right hand plants behind you. Fingers are tented up behind your hips. Left hand wraps around the outside of the right knee. Use your inhales to grow an inch taller, and then use your exhales to get an inch deeper into the pose. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, side twist over to the left side. Left hand planted behind your hips, right hand reaches and wraps around your left knee. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. And exhale, fold forward, just gently forward fold here, tenting up the fingertips and walking them forward as you let your chest move towards your legs. Using this as a little bit of a reset, start to walk your hands back and then roll over the knees, meeting me in tabletop position. Here in tabletop position, shoulder stack over your wrists, hip stack over your knees. Engage your hand bind or Hasta Bandha by spreading the fingers wide and then pressing down through the fingertips, the knuckles, and the heel of your hand. Inhale, cow pose, flip the tailbone up, drop the belly, lift through the chest. Exhale, cat pose, press down into the palms, round in the back body, and tuck your chin. Inhale, cow pose, Vipalasana. Exhale, cat pose, Marjariasana. Inhale, cow pose. Lift the chest through. Exhale, cat pose. Breathe into the back of the heart space. 2 more rounds on your own. Linking breath to movement and exaggerating any parts of this pose that you feel are going to help you find a release in the shoulders, spine, and hips. After your last round, come back to tabletop, resetting the hands and knees if necessary. Now, I don't necessarily know the name of this pose, but what we're going to be doing is really focusing on that space in between the shoulder blades. So spread your fingers wide. As you inhale, start to dip your chest down, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, press through the palms. Like a high plank, really breathe in between that shoulder space. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, round right back the heart space. 2 more rounds on your own. Seeing how tightly you can squeeze the shoulder blades together and then also releasing that tension in the upper body. Coming back to tabletop. And moving through thread the needle, bring your full attention to your left hand. As you inhale, reach the right hand up to the sky. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath your left armpit as you gaze up at the ceiling, and then let the right shoulder, right ear come down to the ground. Your right hip is going to want to move over to the right. So draw the left hip back. You can bring your left hand behind your sacrum, right behind your pelvis, to make sure that your hips stay neutral. Yogi's choice with your left arm variation. You can keep the left hand planted, pressing down underneath the left shoulder. You can extend it to the top of your space. Or if you'd like, you can find a bind, wrapping the left arm around the low back. Inhale, left hand reaches up. Exhale, press down through the left hand. As you inhale, unravel, reaching the right hand up to the sky. And exhale, right hand comes down to the ground. Bring your attention to your right hand as you inhale, left hand reaches up. And exhale, left hand threads underneath your right armpit. Gaze up and then rest your left shoulder and left ear to the ground. This time, draw your left hip back, keeping your hips neutral, and find whatever arm variation you took on the other side. Right hand presses down through the right palm underneath your right shoulder. And on an inhale, bring the left hand up to the sky, unravel. Exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Moving into child's pose, bring the toes together behind you. Hips come back to your heels. As you extend your arms towards the front of your space, let your chest and forehead rest onto the ground. Another great opportunity to bring your full awareness back to your breath. Bring your focus to that word or mantra you channeled while thinking about gratitude and what you're grateful for. Inhale, gaze comes to your fingertips. And exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. As you reach through the fingertips, draw the left hip back and breathe along the left side body. Coming back to that familiar stretch that you felt during our Sukhasana side bends. Inhale, gaze comes to the fingertips, and exhale, walk your hands through center over to the left side of the mat. Let the chest and forehead come to the ground, and as you reach through your fingertips, draw your right hip back. This pose allows us to get a little bit of a deeper stretch in the shoulder blades. Inhale, gaze comes to your fingertips, and exhale, walk your hands back to center. Option to come back to child's pose, or if you'd like, bring your palms to touch in prayer. Bend the elbows and bring prayer to the nape of your neck. You can walk your elbows a little further towards the front of your space and then stretch into that triceps. Release the hands down. As you inhale, come back through tabletop. Tuck your toes and press the hips up and back for our first downward dog of the practice. Pedal out the feet, feeling the stretch along the calves. Sway your hips side to side. Coming back to engaging your hand bind. Spread the fingers wide. Press down through all the corners of your hands and externally rotate your shoulders so that the eye of the elbows point towards the top of your space. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of the mat. Exhale, step your feet forward, forward fold. First forward fold of the day, probably as well. So bring your feet hips width distance. Let your chest fall to your legs. Hands can rest at either side. Or if you'd like, you can reach for opposite elbows, letting your head and neck dangle between your biceps. Swaying side to side, feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, maybe even into the IT band. You can interlace your fingers if you're looking for something deeper, interlace your fingers at the nape of your neck and then draw the head closer to your legs. If you tuck your chin, you can feel a deeper release along the neck and upper back. Go ahead and release the hands down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. On a long inhale, come to full body extension. Arms reach out to the side and up to the sky. Exhale, palms meet, hands come to heart center, Samastihiti. Close your eyes, tucking your chin, bowing your head forward. Take a moment here, channeling that mantra or word of gratitude. On your next inhale, press the palms together. Straight line of energy from elbow to elbow as you start to feel the upper body turn on. Release your hands to your sides and then inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold forward, chest to leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands planted. Step your feet back for high plank. Shoulder stack over your wrists. We're going to stay here for our breath, building our foundation. Press down through all four corners of your hands, engaging that space between the shoulder blades. Flex your feet, feeling your quads turn on. The Sanskrit word for high plank is phalakasana, to ripen. You think about how your body is ripening as it's starting to shake here. We're going to go through this sequence 3 different times, giving you options to add on for this next transition. So for this one, I'm going to have you bring your knees down to the ground. Bend your elbows, squeezing them in towards the rib cage, and lower the chest down to your mat. Hands are planted underneath the shoulders. Untuck the toes, so press the bottom of the feet into your mat. As you inhale, start to lift the chest off the ground. Little to no weight in the hands here, being very gentle as we're just starting in your practice. Exhale, let the chest lower. Tuck your toes, coming through high plank, and then pressing your hips back, downward facing dog. So we'll continue to build with that transition, that chaturanga, ultimately to chaturanga, lowering all the way down and coming through up dog. You can choose your own adventure here, so whichever variations you'd like, just make it your own. Moving through the sequence twice more, linking breath to movement. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of your space. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out and up, full body extension. Exhale, cactus the arms back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward, chest to leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step feet back, high plank. Staying here for a breath, inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, knees come down to the ground. And as you exhale, bend the elbows. Chest comes to your mat. Inhale, up dog. Press down through the palms, straightening your arms. Exhale, down dog. Tuck the toes, hips go up and back. Building on, inhale, gaze comes to the top of your space. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, cactus the arms back. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward, chest to leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank, step your feet back. Staying here for a breath once more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, option to bring the knees down to the ground. Exhale, chaturanga. This time, squeezing your knees into your rib cage. Stop at that 90-degree mark. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job, you guys. I'll provide options to go through your vinyasa throughout the practice. So again, choose your own adventure, yogi's choice. Inhale, bring the gaze to the top of your space. Exhale, step the feet forward. Preparing for chair pose. Two different options here for chair pose. And I know typically I have you guys bring your toes together. I'm going to give you an option here. You can either keep your toes together, slight space within the heels, or if you'd like, you can bring your feet to about hips width distance. And for just checking that out, if you're not able to see what that looks like, you can bring two fists in between your feet. So I'll do the first one with a wider stance, the second one closer. You can choose however you'd like to take this chair pose. I will share the benefits of bringing your feet closer together. Do make it a little easier to find the midline of your body. As you inhale, shift the weight into your heels. Exhale, start to bend your knees, bringing your hips closer to the mat. Arms reach out and up with an inhale. And exhale, engage the low belly, tuck the pelvis, taking out any curvature from your low back. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, straighten the knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your left foot back for crescent lunge. So feet are pointed forward. On your next inhale, press down through the right foot, arms reach up to the sky. A lot of our attention now is focused on our right leg, it's our front leg, but I encourage you to press down through the ball of the left foot to lift the left heel and engage the back leg. Going through a couple transitions here. As you inhale, straighten the right knee. Exhale, bend the right knee, cactus the arms. 2 more just like that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the right knee bent. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of your space. And as you exhale, step the left foot forward for our second chair pose. Feet can either be hip width distance or toes come together, heels apart. Inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees down. Weight should be in your heels, so you should be able to wiggle your toes here. Naturally, your butt is going to want to jet out. So again, remember to engage the low belly and tuck your pelvis for that straight spine. If your feet are together, you can feel your knees coming into one another, finding that midline of the body. Embrace the shake of the quads here. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, straighten the knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, stepping your right foot back, preparing for crescent on this side. On an inhale, press down through the left foot, shoulders stack over hips, arms reach overhead. Inhale, press down through the ball of the right foot, and exhale, see if you can bend the left knee just a tad deeper. Going through 3 transitions on this side. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, bend the left knee, cactus the arms. 2 more just like that on your own. Keeping the left knee bent, arms reach up to the sky, and exhale, waterfall the hands down to frame the left foot. As you inhale, look forward, and exhale, step the right foot forward. You're like, what front foot? Bringing the hips back to hip width distance, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. One more, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping your feet back for high plank pose. Option for vinyasa here. Inhale, shifting the shoulders forward. Exhale, bend the elbows to 90 degrees. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step the right foot behind the right thumb. Preparing for warrior 1 on this side. Rotate the left foot so it's at a 45-degree angle. And as you inhale, press down through the right foot, coming into warrior 1. Arms reach up to the sky. As you bend your right knee, start to pull the right hip back, pressing the left hip forward. Settling into your space, finding the depth in your foundation. Channel back to your breath. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, bend the right knee. As you look down, you can bring your hands to rest at your hips. Step the left hip forward slightly. Preparing for pyramid pose. Both feet are pointed towards the top of your space. Start to lengthen here, placing your hands on your hips. As you inhale, reach through the chest, finding length in your foundation. On your next inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold forward. Hands can be tented on both sides of the the right foot. Feel the stretch along the right hamstring. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, tucking the left toes. Inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. This time, exhale, flex the right foot. Your right toes are pointed down towards the mat to keep your hips closed. Inhale, see if you can lift the right heel even just an inch higher. And exhale, right foot comes down to meet the left. Go ahead and walk the dog, pedaling your feet out. Feeling the difference between the right and left side. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step the left foot behind your left thumb. Right foot rotates 45 degrees, so your right toes point towards the top right corner of your mat. And then as you inhale, press down through the left foot, shoulders stack over your hips. Bending the left knee, arms reach up to the sky for warrior one. This time, draw the left hip back as you press the right hip forward, centering out your hips, finding strength in this foundation once more. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, step your right foot forward just slightly, shortening your stance. Turn your right toes in, so all of your toes are pointed towards the top of your space. Arms reach up as we prepare for pyramid. And as you exhale, fold forward over the left thigh. You can add a micro bend to the left knee. And just breathe along the back of the left leg, a hamstring here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping your right foot back and tucking the right toes. On inhale, three-legged dog, left leg rises behind you. Exhale, flex the left foot, pointing the toes towards your mat. Inhale, see if you can lift the left heel even just an inch higher. And exhale, left foot comes down to meet the right. Option to stay in down dog here or join in vinyasa. This time I'll offer it on your knees option. Inhale, high plank. Lower down to your knees. Exhale, bend the elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips go up and back, down dog. Inhale, right leg rises, flexing the right foot. Exhale, point the right toes down towards your mat. Inhale, see if you can get a little bit more height with that right heel. Exhale, step the right foot behind your right thumb. Rotate the left foot so that it's parallel to the back of your mat. As you inhale, press down through the right foot. Arms reach up to the sky. And then exhale, open up to warrior two. So starting with our foundation with warrior two, we want to work from the mat up. I mentioned that the left foot is parallel to the back of your mat. You also want to check your heel to arch alignment. So does your right heel bisect the arch of your left foot? We're working towards a 90-degree bend in the right knee. Hips are centered, shoulders stack over your hips, and arms extend outward. You can turn on your arm muscles by really just reaching out through the fingertips. Keeping our upper body completely active here. Going through 3 transitions. Inhale, straighten the right knee, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee, come back to warrior 2. 2 more. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and extend. Last one on your own. From warrior 2, step the left foot forward just slightly, shortening your stance. Straighten the right knee as we prepare for triangle. Inhale, reach through the right fingertips like you're trying to open up a door, reaching for a doorknob. Shifting the left hip back. Once you've found your peak, exhale, right hand comes down to your shin or ankle. Left hand comes up to the sky. Inhale, reach through the left fingertips. Exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Tuck your left toes. As you inhale, right leg rises behind you. Exhale, bend the right knee, stacking your right hip over left. You can rotate your ankle here or bend and straighten the knee. Finding whatever organic movement or shape is working best for your body. Inhale, reach through the right heel. Exhale, right foot comes down to meet the left. Staying here in down dog for a breath. Take a moment just to feel the difference between your right and left hip. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, flex the left foot. Left toes are still pointed towards their mat. Inhale, see if you can get a little bit more height with the left heel. And exhale, step the left foot forward behind your left thumb. Rotate the right foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Heel to arch alignment as your arms reach up and open out. Check your stance here. Back foot parallel to the back of your mat. Heel to arch alignment. Hip centered, shoulder stack over hips. It can be really easy just to drop into this pose. So I encourage you to visualize pulling the heels together without making any type of movement, and you're gonna feel the inner thigh turn on. Going through the transitions here. Inhale, straighten the left knee, arms reach up. Exhale, bend the left knee, arms extend out. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and extend. Last one on your own. Inhale and exhale. Finding your warrior 2 pose here. Take a moment and then step the right foot forward just slightly, shortening your stance. Straighten the left knee. As you draw your right hip back, reach the left hand forward, reaching for that imaginary doorknob. And once you found your peak, bring the left hand down to your shin, reach the right hand up to the sky. Inhale, reach through the right fingertips. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Tuck your right toes, and on your next inhale, left leg reaches up behind you. Exhale, bend the left knee, stacking the left hip over the right. Can bend and straighten the knee here. Rotate the ankle, whatever feels best for you. We're going to go through that one more time, linking breath to movement and adding on in between. As you exhale, bring the left foot down. Downward facing dog. You can stay here in down dog or join me in a round of vinyasa. Inhale, shift the shoulders forward, plank position. Option to bring your knees down to the ground. As you exhale, bend the elbows to 90 degrees. And then inhale, press down through the palms, straightening your arms. Exhale, down dog. Tuck the toes, hips go up and back. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step the right foot forward, warrior two. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, open up to warrior two. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and extend. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Grab a block, coffee mug, or again, soup can works too. As you're here in warrior two, step the left foot forward, preparing for triangle. Inhale, reach through the right hand, and exhale, right hand comes down to your shin, left hand reaches up. So here is your add-on, completely optional. You can continue to stay here, really focusing on opening up the chest. Or if you'd like to join me in a balancing, I place my coffee mug about a foot in front of my right foot and off to the right side. On an inhale, I start to lift the left foot off the ground, resting my hand on that coffee mug, soup can, or block. Left hand reaches up. Yes, this balancing is challenging, but a couple tips here. Flex the left foot, starting to engage the left leg. Find your breath. Sometimes when it's scary, we hold our breath, but we want to lengthen our breath here. And then last but not least, find a spot on the ground that isn't moving. On your next exhale, gently let the left leg lower. As we counter stretch, straighten the right knee, reach the right hand back for reverse triangle. And exhale, hands cartwheel down to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes, inhale, right leg rises. And exhale, right foot comes down to meet the left. No matter what shape you ended up in with that last variation, maybe you stayed in triangle, opening up the chest, maybe you tried balancing, doesn't matter. You made the shape that worked best for your body, for the practice, for your day. As we even it out on the other side, inhale, left leg rises. Flex the left foot, exhale. Inhale, see if you can lift the left heel even just an inch higher. And then exhale, step the left foot forward. Coming back into warrior two, inhale, arms reach out. And exhale, settle into your space. Transitions here, inhale, reach. Straightening the left knee. Exhale, bend. Coming back to warrior two. Inhale, reach. And extend. Exhale, bend and find your depth. I lost count, so one more. Inhale, reach. And exhale, come back to warrior two. Preparing for Triangle step the right foot forward slightly. Straighten the left knee. Reach through the left hand as you draw your right hip back. Once you've found your peak, left hand comes down to the ground. Right hand reaches up. Continue here. This shape works. There's still a lot of work to do on this. If you're interested in joining me in the balancing pose, grab that block, coffee mug, or soup can, and place it a foot in front of your left foot and off to the left side at whatever height works best for you. On an inhale, start to lift the right toes off the ground. Left hand planted onto the block as you reach your right hand up, opening up the hips. Channel those tricks I shared, finding a spot on the floor that's not moving, flexing the right foot, engaging your upper body too by pressing down through the left hand and reaching through the right fingertips. Gently bring a bend to the left knee. As you exhale, right foot plants. Inhale, straighten the left knee, counter stretch here, reaching the left hand up and back. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the left foot. Tuck the right toes, inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, bend the left knee, stacking left hip over right. Inhale, reach through the left toes. Exhale, left foot comes down to meet the right. Last optional add-on for vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee comes to the back of the right wrist. Right foot comes towards the left wrist. As you start to scoot your left leg back, come into a proud pigeon. Hands can be tented at your hips or in front of you. A couple different options to use blocks in this case. You can place a block underneath your right hip so to give you some more support. You want to make sure that the hips are centered. Or if you'd like, I like to create a T shape with one block to go underneath my sternum, right in the middle of my chest, and then bring another block to the front where my forehead will rest. So as you exhale, start to fold forward, finding whatever shape works best for you. On an inhale, hands plant underneath the shoulders, rise up. Exhale, start to lean into your right hip, swinging the left leg forward. You can bend the left knee, and then swing the right leg back. Setting up here in pigeon pose, just coming through a different transition than what we're used to. Hands planted in front of you, left knee comes behind the left wrist, left foot comes towards the right wrist. Starting with proud pigeon, lift through the chest. You can place that block under the left hip. And then as you exhale, start to fold forward. Breathing into that hip space. often an area where a lot of stress and tension is held. Inhale, hands come underneath the shoulders, rise up. Lean now into the left hip and swing the right foot forward. We're going to cross our legs in front of us once more, coming back to the familiar Sukhasana or easy pose. And as you inhale, lengthen through your root along your spine to the crown of your head. Exhale, start to walk your hands forward. Another great thing to use blocks or stacked cans for. Placing them in front of you so you can rest your forehead onto the ground. Inhale. Come on up from that Sukhasana fold. Grabbing your blocks, if you have them, you can bring them back towards the back of your space. Squeezing the knees into the chest, roll onto your back. Bring your right hand to the outside of the left knee, keeping the knees in towards the chest. Left hand reaches out like a T or cactus. As you inhale, press down through the left shoulder, and then exhale, supine twist. Knees knock over to the right side. Inhale, knees come through center. Left hand reaches to the outside of the right knee. Right arm extends out to a T or cactus. Inhale, ground down through the right shoulder. And exhale, knees knock over to the left side. Inhale, knees come up. Give them a squeeze here. And as you release the knees, plant the feet into the mat. Step your feet towards your hips so you're able to graze the back of your heels with your fingertips. Bring your hands to the outside of your mat. Wrap them around. So we're going to prepare for a bridge pose. And when we get to the peak of bridge pose, I'm going to encourage you guys to pull the mat apart like you're trying to tear it in half. On an inhale, press down through the heels, lifting up the hips. Exhale, pull the mat apart like you're trying to tear it in two. If you want to get deeper in this pose, interlace the fingers at the low back and then tuck your shoulders underneath your torso. Inhale, press the hips up. And then exhale, gently let the hips fall down to the mat, releasing the binds in the hand. Heel toe your feet out to the width of the mat and let the knees knock into one another for broken bridge. An optional add-on here is to create an L shape with your right and left hand, mainly the index finger and thumb. And then place the thumb into the hip crease, fingers onto the outside of the hips. Press down and away. Feel the release there in the sciatic nerve. This internal rotation in the hips allows for a release in the low back, so send your breath just above the tailbone. Release the hands down. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, heel toe the feet in towards one another. Inhale, squeeze the knees into the chest. Exhale, pull the knees even tighter. On your next inhale, flex the feet. Maybe you can bring your knees in to kiss. Hold at the top. Take one more sip of air. And then exhale into Shavasana. I did ask you to bring those blocks, so an optional add-on or variation for the Shavasana pose. You can place the 2 blocks at either heights. I'm using the low height here, parallel towards one another. So you'll place the one closest to your hips so that your shoulder blades will rest on that, and then the one towards the top of your space, your head will rest on that. So sometimes I have to get into it a little bit just to find exactly where the blocks hit. Letting every single part of your body that's making contact with the mat feel rooted into your space. Coming back to this idea of being grateful of what we have innately, what comes natural to us. Bring that word or mantra to your focus. With an inhale, spotlight it, giving it respect and time. And exhale, let that melt away. If you are able to stay in Shavasana for longer, do it. Everything will still be there once you leave your space. If you'd like to be let out of it, you can reach your hands up to the sky and then overhead for a big good morning stretch. Draw the knees into the chest and gently roll over to either side, resting your head on your bicep and bringing your free hand to make contact with your mat. One more opportunity to connect with your space. When you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, press on up into seated position. That familiar Sukhasana pose, legs crossed in front of you. Bring your hands to heart center prayer. taking a moment to show gratitude for every muscle, bone, and joint that takes you through your practice. Prayer comes to third eye, thankful for all the lessons in life and the perspective that each provides. And folding forward, thankful for this beautiful space where we can practice together, even when far apart. All the places you have gone and all the places you will go once this all has passed. Namaste. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your time. Be safe and be well.